Ho, 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 guess what? I am not a ghost. To all the kids out there, I want to say Halloween's coming, and I hope that it's going to be safe enough to do. I love all the children and your mothers and your fathers. You're just awesome. I want to thank you for your patience. I've been extremely busy on many other my type of other businesses in which I am running. I have something here I want to show you, and it's got to do with La Bella Principessa. There's controversy that so happens to be about her, but here is some facts in which I have seen. And you judge on your own. Here's a YouTube of my little study, and I hope you give a thumbs up and subscribe and pass it on to your friends. Now I'll get off this phone or microphone, and there we go. And let's see what you think. All right? And may God look over you. Okay, again, thank you. Thank you for joining me. I'm very, very, very proud of the stuff in which I've been putting out for you. I'm going to show you that this is a lost Leonardo da Vinci painting. This painting is a diary, absolutely 100% a diary of Leonardo da Vinci's works. It can't be disputed. I don't think it can be beaten by Leonardo da Vinci himself, even if he came down here and lived his full life, unless he lived one extra day. It has every single thing that I have found from his writings. His portraits are in his writings. In other words, if you write a whole letter that goes across here and zigzag, 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 he will have out of it, and it's in my YouTubes, which I have 1,000 of them, you'll have these highlighted spots that shows where my man and woman lays in many different areas. He's a very magnificent code man. Magnificent. And that's an understatement. I can't even think of a better word. I telling you honest truth. It's like when I knew that God wanted me to call him Supreme God. Supreme God. How do you find a better word than Supreme God? How do you find the word in which God has made a man with the greatest mind, talent, brain, heart? He had so much friends. It's absolutely overwhelming. Overwhelming. I remember that. Anyway, this so happens to be the younger Mona Lisa. This so happens to be the older Mona Lisa. Now, you take a look at the Last Supper. Take a look at my man. I have the YouTubes to prove it. My YouTubes show that my man is in the Last Supper. Many, many other images, and her too. And you're going to find that, you're going to see that she's a child. She's an adult. You'll see that in the one that says Mona and the babies, you're going to find out my woman with the blanket has the baby. You're going to find out the Mona that sits in the museum has a baby from the Discovery Channel. You're going to be talking about all kinds of things that so happens to be. You're going to talk about how she moves across the room. Yes, the reason is because he does so many overlays, it becomes a flip book. No matter which way you take my painting, no matter which way you take it, you can have it like this, it's going to show up in the Mona. You can have it like this, it's going to show up in the Mona. You can have it like this, you can have it like this, you can have it like this. You can have it big, you can have it small, you can have it any way. You could have it this big in the Mona, this big, that big, where you can't even see it. You could have it this big, and you're only showing that particular image because Leonardo da Vinci was obsessed. He was obsessed with the Mona. And when you're obsessed with the Mona or the love of your life and want it to go to heaven, and he's got heavenly thoughts with Jesus and Mary and his mother and many other women in which he had portrayed to be in this painting, that's called the stylist of an artist. Okay, so let's get this down. Out of over 1,000 YouTubes, you think that I would have some kind of way to try to get the point across. I hope I really do get the point across. But let me show you a couple little things before we get to the highlight, please. Okay, this is the woman. This is the woman of controversy. This woman has also actually had some individuals who have been sued for turning around and identifying this woman to be part of his works in many different other pieces. And I to believe it doesn't matter if you're in college or not. You have eyes on your own. You see the woman? Yes. You know what she looks like? Yes. Okay, so let me get into showing you that in this particular area right here, you're going to see that this is what you come across. You come across the X-ray out of my painting, the Mona Lisa, 100% X-ray. That is the Mona Lisa. Okay, so you got that in mind. That's what she looks like. I'm going to show you what she looks like side by side, and you're going to have a little better thought. See? Boom! Boom, 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 boom. You know, if you can't do it, just play it, okay? Play it and just go with the flow. And what that is with your heart, your mind, your body, your soul, and your spirit, and your work, and your passion. And that's what it is. This is the Mona. The Mona and the Mona Lisa in the X-ray. Now we're going to get into another thing, okay? This so happens to be one of the images in which we're talking about, right? Absolutely. Okay, well, how do I get these images? Well, it was through an X-ray, but it was also through the fortune of a couple weeks prior before Christmas. It was shot with a 100 megapixel phase 1 camera, twice what they used to shoot from the universe to the Earth. 100 megapixel. They only use a 50. Okay, and that was with a big, heavy macro. 719 photo shots. Am I altered anything for you? Did I deceive you in any way? It is absolutely flawless. It came without a frame, and that's the way it's going to be for right now. I haven't decided how I want that frame to be. But let me just tell you something else, okay? I'm going to show you that in my painting, this spells out Melzi. And how does it look like? That's an M. And then there's an E, and then there's an L, and then a Z, and an I. And when you put it together and you write it out, that's what it spells, Melzi. Melzi Francesca. Melzi Francesca so happens, and I pronounce words wrong. Go ahead. You scholars and whatnot, you just want to pick on anybody because guess what? Yeah, but that's the Portuguese way. You know, and you got the Italian way, you got all kinds of people's ways that just turn around and just pronunciations different. And, you know, they always got somebody who wants to belittle. Maybe. I haven't had anybody belittle, but I'm sure there's going to be somebody trying to belittle. Okay, well, I got to take that back. There was 2 individuals that come from Italy. But as far as I'm concerned, they can go back to Italy on their boat with a hole in it because they've been a lawsuit over their examinations of the images, and those images so happens to be costing people $70 million for their analysis of stupidity. So anyway, this is Melzi. He lived with Leonardo da Vinci till he died. He also received his inheritance. His inheritance is in my painting. Okay, in my painting, and I do believe what I remember, it was somewhere in this area. I know it has his birth date, death date, many places on it, but it is in my painting. I just have to get it out. I sent it to a couple of high-end auction houses, and they lost my documents, but I have the records somewhere written around here and haven't had time. But let's get back to something else, okay? We're going to get back to something else. And that so happens to be, okay, Melzi's one of his lovers. Okay, one of his lovers. One. Okay, you can love everybody in the world. Okay, but he also had a lover named Soli. Soli, S-U-L-A-I. Google these words. Melzi and Soli lived with Leonardo da Vinci till the day he died. Why would these be in my X-ray? And why would they be in my painting? A forger knew what was hidden down in there, and these match in the Leonardo da Vinci's works of the same writing in scripture, especially with that S. Look at that S. What he does, if you pay attention how the S flows like this, he makes it in black. And then if you take a look, you can see the little s. Because he constantly keeps writing over and 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 over. He's a compulsive copy machine. And I've got those in my YouTubes of how many times he's copied. Now, what is this? Oh my goodness, my gracious, my Lord. It spells out Leonardo, but backwards. As a little boy here, Leonardo da Vinci Sir Pierre. That's the way it comes on out. These images, if you screenshot it, you'll find out they're portraits. He's a portrait. This cannot be seen by the human eye. Impossible. It is not able to be seen by the human eye. You better have the greatest eyes on the planet. You better be a surgical brain surgeon, because we need you, if you can see that, because I have a $15,000 surgical microscope that I put it away in storage with cobwebs after I've had it for approximately 7 to 10 days. I don't remember how many, but let's say 10 days. It's been put away for 7 years. It took me a year to get that. Okay, it's kind of surgical that goes right over the body years ago, where you can do the stitching. Now, here again, we're going to get into, okay, we already got into the camera. Okay, so no need to repeat that. Okay, and I don't believe, okay, we don't need to repeat the x-ray. Okay, but now, here comes the highlight. Boom, 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 bam. Here she is, right? Okay, now, we're going to go down over here, and we're going to get into it. Now, that's what she looks like. Okay, that's what she looks like after you pull the hue and some of the curves, and you get this coloration. Now, as you can see, her brim of her nose. See how her brim of her nose goes? Okay, now the pertaining to what we're talking about, we're pertaining to all the images I showed you already. I've already showed you what exists in my painting that matches Leonardo da Vinci. 100%. There's no altering whatsoever. Now here's La Bella Principessa. La Bella Principessa has a few things that are very kind of unique in this painting. If you take a look at her eye, it kind of looks like a rooster, but it's also a man's eye. We're not even getting into that, but what I'm saying is he does these innuendos of cartoons. And if you turn her, you got these other faces. Screen shoot it, turn it, do 360, and turn around and open it, and you'll see all these images. These are all these lightness and shadows. These are other images that build on top of a builds, on top of a builds, on top of a builds. And this is a person here that builds on down. These images go much deeper. This is only one top, just like John F. Kennedy said to one of his co-captains, and he said, when the co-captain said, "Oh, there's sure a lot of water out there," when he was on the PT-109, and John F. Kennedy said, he said, "That's just the top of it, of the ocean. That's just the top of what you're seeing. It's so much water." Okay, what you're seeing right here is so much water. It's holy water. It's holy water because, to me, holy water painting the blessing of God that has given this man this talent. Now watch, when I take this and I move it over here, and if I get excited, you darn right I get excited. Am I happy? Now it's flipped upside down. My goodness, my gracious, my God, I flipped it upside down. Why? Well, there's an image here. You see the image? Well, things change. Here comes the part. If you take a look, when you actually let me back this up just a second while it's on my mind. I just noticed something. You'll see this loop in here, and it goes back. This actually becomes a person, and it is actually fluctuates in the Mona Lisa on her chest. This particular image, it's a cartoon. It comes out to be a face of a person, but you can just take that as a grain of salt, a grain of pepper, some garlic salt, or whatever it be. Now we're back to this. If you take a look at this cut line that runs through here and down, you see that cut line that goes there? Okay, that's the highlight. Are you ready? Because I'm going to give you the drum roll. I'm going to boom, 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 boom. Here it is. Okay, it's the same. What's the same? This image right here. This is the X-ray of the Mona Lisa they pulled. Okay, and here's the same image that flows through here. Watch when I overlay the two. Bam, 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 bam. Bam! Twins. Boom. 100% match. How would you get that line? How would you know how to copy that line out of La Bella Principessa? How do you know that that particular image is there? Because it's a Leonardo da Vinci's trick of codes and hiding his works within his works. 100%. There's no other doubt. There's no other way. This man is a master of masters of masters of masters of masters. You put 100 masters in the same room, and Leonardo da Vinci is easily, and I know I'm understating this, 5 times over all of them. This guy is nuts beyond nuts of crazy of greatness. Okay, and he's got that many more friends that will jump in front of a bullet if there was a bullet to save him without pay. What kind of friendship's that? Okay, This is just amazing, 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 amazing. Now this particular piece, okay, this comes off. This comes out of the study of many, many years. This is fun. This is this is the X-ray they've been living off of. And there's many other things in it. And there's a lot of it, and it's been hidden in the sense that they've been hiding. And I've been pulling it. They don't like it. They've been trying to stop my YouTubes and the proof. And I need you guys to go viral with this. I need you guys to get up and get going. I need you guys to take your thumbs and pointing fingers and everything else and put a splint on that pointing finger and hit the subscribe button. Pass it on to all your news people and all your friends, and let's get this thing going. Because this thing has more than you can even imagine. If you turn around, how in the world did I alter that? How did I alter this? Go on the net. Look at the X-ray of the Mona Lisa. You'll see it. Boom! Right there. And what is it? This is, so happens to be, La Bella Principessa again. Okay, and what it is, it is this image right here, just altered in the sense of being 180 degrees and had the tone done. Okay, what is this? This is all this. This is La Bella Principessa. All you got to do is go over the layers, and then you go over into adjustments, and then you go into hue, and then you just hit the OK button, and then you just boom. That's all you do. You just change it like this, and you move it back and forth, and you pull Leonardo da Vinci's tricks and colors right out of it. That's what you do, and you work it. That's what you do, and until you start seeing these images. And if you don't like what you see, you just hit revert and you continue. But that's one of the images in which Leonardo da Vinci so happens to have done. I have wasted nothing with you. You know why? Because this is what I say. This is if for some reason you guys, in any reason whatsoever, have any doubt, well, guess what? Any doubt, sure, you got to keep an open mind. There's an awful lot of money involved. Okay? But I would have to be crazier than Leo to do over 1,000 YouTubes. Over. And to turn around and be a guy that can't even crop and do. Okay? What am I going to do? I'm going to fake an X-ray. I'm going to fake writing that's inside my X-ray. Well, from this camera. This camera is not an X-ray machine, but it's 100 megapixels, so it gets into these depths from this that so happens to be by his foot, written out Leonardo da Vinci, Sir Pierre. That is a man. This so happens to be also, all this image that you see here so happens to not be able to be seen by the human eye. Not able to be seen by the human eye. It is amazing. What man could do that? What female can do that? Anyone. Now this is the X-ray. Hidden lover down deep inside my painting of Leonardo da Vinci? Crazy me if I was to cheat. Wow. How would I even have known that his lover's name was that? No way. And then Melzi written in here. Another lover. Oh my goodness. The man in which was so... he lived on until the day he died. And here it is, spelt out. It actually gets into actually saying I love you and other images. It's in my other YouTubes. Follow it. Listen, this is the greatest painting on the planet. Now I'm going to tell you why one more time. The reason is because let's say that you were doing a Romeo and Juliet. Romeo and Juliet, okay? Now, out of the Romeo and Juliet, what is the two metaphor individuals that you can put together that is going to blow away Romeo and Juliet? If you had your wife and you had Jesus Christ says, I want you to be my wife, you lose your wife. Jesus just took your wife away. And what is the metaphor of an image in which so happens to be so magnificent about the Mona Lisa? Oh my goodness. Everybody wants to know what is going on with this Mona Lisa. What is it with her eyes? What is it with her gaze? Who is the Mona Lisa? Oh, so much. It takes the air out of you. It takes the wonder. It's the passion. It's the love. It's the search. It's just the greatest thing you could ever think of. Well, guess what? So you integrate the two and he proposes to her. He actually asks her to marry her because in my YouTubes it shows a ring and it actually says that I'm going to show you a writing one day that's writing up in here also says ring. It also said no ring and that was on Christmas Day. Boy, but he must have cried. Okay, so he did get his ring. because I've seen it where it said both. And this so happens to have a lot of other hidden items. Don't forget, I've showed you where my man was sitting in the skull. I'm telling you, you guys, I'm going to have to cut it short because my numbers are down. So I got to say, listen, wash your hands, social distance, wear a mask, and may God bless the whole world, the universe, and the heavens, and you have a safe night. Amen. I'm out of time. Amen.